Friends, hi, hello, how are you? Welcome back to the Curvy E Chronicles. My name is Courtney, and today we are going over my quarter 3 debt confession update. It's a good one. It'll probably be a long one, so grab a cup of coffee, grab a cup of tea, cup of wine, cup of water, a snack. Come hang out with me for a little bit. All right, friends. So before we look at any of the numbers, we're going to chat. I'm going to be straight and honest. Like, first and foremost, I am not looking for help or advice or suggestions. The reason I post this debt confession, I posted the debt confession, I posted my updates, is to, number one, hold myself accountable. To, number two, look at real-time numbers and like where we are sitting in the grand scheme of things. And number three, to let people know that they are not alone. I will tell you, I've watched enough debt confessions. It made me feel like I was less crazy for what I had and that I knew there was a path out, that I could do this, and to follow some other people's journeys has been incredible. The other reason I share this is because for us, debt payoff is not fast. We are a single income household, and my husband is a blue collar worker. He's a tradesman, so that income varies often. It is not always the same. And just when I think we have a grasp on things and like we've got a really good flow going, life throws a curveball and his job changes, and we aren't able to keep up on what I had planned. So those are just the first few notes I want to throw out there. The other thing is that we are still going to live our lives within the confines of also trying to pay down debt. Are we throwing every extra ounce cent at debt when we can? Yes, we're trying very hard. But are we going to take some money and go visit the fair? Yes. Should we? Not always. That's your opinion. You can say no. I know people think that I shouldn't go out for coffee and I shouldn't go get my nails done. But to be honest with you, the occasions in which those happen are few and far between. And to each their own. Do we want to get our debt paid down? Yes. Am I going to put, I have put a end goal date on us twice. And I feel like every time I've done that, it has not panned out. Or just, not even panned out, but we get a curveball that just delays everything farther. So today, I'm not putting an end date on us. I am going to go over numbers with you. I'll be honest. I'm going to be straightforward and honest and just realistic because I really want that to be what's going on here. We don't have a plan. I don't have a plan going forward. Should I have created and formulated a plan before sitting down to film this? Probably. But in all sense of transparency, I am at a crossroads now where I feel stuck and I don't have a major debt pay down plan. Do I have some ideas? Yep, I'm going to throw those out. But I'm going to sit down and talk with my husband and figure out what we want to do, because we've made some drastic changes recently, just as far as like taking from savings to pay down debt and then having to add more debt. And then truthfully, the month of September was rough. My husband's job changed. It threw a wrench in our schedule. We had a lot of things going on in a matter of short weeks. And I will be full honest with you. We ate out a lot because it was me and the kids. And if it was all I do to bribe them to go get the things done that I needed to, that I was supposed to have been able to do by myself. But with my husband not being here, I couldn't do that. So we added debt. The other thing is we did. I mentioned earlier, we took from savings to pay down some debt, and then we had to add more. The car that my husband was driving daily, the tires almost blew out in it. So we had to then drop $650 on new tires for that car that now that we're heading into winter, he won't be driving. My car needs tires. His truck needs front end work, and it's just everything adds up. And I swear it's like everything all seems to fall at once when it comes to vehicles, but we're doing our best, we're trying our best, and we are going to get through this. So now that we've kind of got all of that out of the way, we are going to kind of talk through this a little bit more as we go. Let's get into the numbers. So just as a reminder, start of the year, totals and balances. I'll zoom you in a little bit. So these were our totals and balances as of the beginning of the year. So as of January 2023, we were at $57,492.49 in debt. That is between my car, my husband's pickup. We do have a camper, and then 2 credit cards. And these are the only 2 credit cards we have, so to speak. And then let's refresh from our quarter 2 update. So we surprisingly did go down, and this was right before all hell broke loose. Because I, formulated a plan. I thought, this is what we're going to do. It's going to be great. And shit hit the fan. Just being straight and honest with you. We did still have a decrease from quarter 1 to quarter 2, and from beginning of year to quarter 2. Just not as much as I would have liked, but we're headed in the right direction. So that brings us to quarter 3. And you will notice down here at the bottom, this wonderful new little addition, Les Schwab. So we do have a Les Schwab account because when we were younger and first married, my husband's truck at the time needed more front end work than we even could fathom a price. So we have a Les Schwab charge account. We have used it to pay for our tires because prior to this year, I've never budgeted like this. I literally just we spent money like it was going out of style. And I wish I would have done this type of budget sooner, but we're doing it now. I wish I would have done it while we were both working, because I think we would have been far more financially responsible when the kids came around, that it wouldn't have been such a drastic change when I left my job. But regardless, we can't change the past. We can only move forward. So Les Schwab, we're going to start there. We took $2,000 out of our savings. It was sitting in a house account that we had set aside to go towards eventually like a house down payment, or if we ever had emergency situations with the house we live in now, anything like that. It's been sitting there for a while. We haven't added to it, but we also haven't taken away from it. It had just been sitting there, and I thought, you know what? Let's take this. Let's make a big debt payment on this city card, so that we can get the balance down and transfer over to our STCU card, because STCU came out with a new balance transfer offer of 0% for 18 months with a 3% fee. So I wanted to take advantage of that because I knew I could transfer a large balance over in order to save us on interest. Well, after I made that transfer and did that, the extra funds we had that I could have put towards these tires were gone. Do we have an emergency fund? Yes. But I am saving that emergency fund for if my husband were to ever lose his job. That is what that's in place for. I don't want to touch it otherwise. So we used our Les Schwab account. Tires were $650. Not to mention, prior to that, we actually had to put batteries in my husband's truck because he attempted to jump a friend's vehicle, and valuable lesson learned, he fried his batteries in doing so. So in a 2-month time frame, I was able to work in the batteries into our budget and pay off $400 because diesel truck batteries are expensive. But by the time we got to needing tires on the car, we didn't have that extra. So we put $660 in tires on the car that he was driving daily. Since then, I have been able to get that balance down to $500, and I have worked it into our budget that we're going to work to pay this off by the end of the year. Could I pay it off in a month? Yes. At this point in time, I don't want to. I want to spread it out because we're going into the holidays. We're going into all the things that we have, like fun things that are going on, and Of course, if we have extra, I'm going to dump it at that. But right now, that mentally feels like it's an okay number for us to be at. So we have 500 left, and the plan is to pay this off by January 1st. Because that is doable. I think I figured out it's like $175 a month, $45 a week. That is something I easily can take into account, because with my husband changing job sites, it's a pay cut, which happens. But the worst part about it is that he's a union worker, so the union he's going to is not the prevailing wage union. His current union is, but it's also in a different state. So there's state income tax in the state he's in. There is also a discrepancy in his benefits plan, with how union workers, part of their overall package, a certain dollar amount every hour of their wage goes towards their health and welfare, our medical insurance, and our dental insurance. Well, there is a $3 discrepancy an hour to the union he's working at now. So his company is, thank goodness, giving him a stipend to, or like a per diem, so to speak, to supplement that. But it now doesn't, there's nothing that's offsetting. Like, technically he's not even making more in this job, which is hard. So, not only are we changing pay from when I did our Q2 update to now our Q3, but now we also having to take more of that budget out to make sure that we just have our health insurance. So that part is really hard, but we're getting there. We're going through it. So our STCU card, this one we did do a balance transfer to. So this one has changed to $10,400. Now, the nice thing about this is we have $26.75 left on our balance transfer that ends in April of 24. And the remainder, which would be, it's like $7,000 and change, is good through June of 25. So, 0 interest. It was a no-brainer. 3% fee was not that much. We did take the money off of our city card. Now, as we get to the city cards, so our balance currently right now is $11,064.97. Does that give me anxiety? You bet your sweet little tushy it does. Here's the thing. September literally put me stressed to the max. Not only did we have a very big change in income, very big change in schedule, just as our normal daily, along with adding preschool into that schedule. And then to top that off, it was one of the busiest months for me, just in things that I do outside of being a mom and budgeting and whatnot. And so I turned to this card when we didn't have money to eat out, and I just used the card. Stress. It was a very much stress spending, and I'm not proud of it. But that's why I wanted to film this video and put it out without having a plan in place. Because I think too often you see folks that are absolutely killing it with debt payoff, and it can be a little discouraging if that's not where you're at the moment, to be like just slamming away at all those debts and getting them gone, because sometimes it's not feasible. And not only that, but then when you have stressors in life, we've been really good about trying to really focus money at our debt all year long. Since I started my debt confession, I think I posted it in February or March. We have been trying so hard to focus on getting where we could, when we could. And after 8 months of really trying to focus on that, all just came kind of piling down, the stress, the weight, everything. And as a person who is a recovering spender, I reverted back to old tendencies. And I'm realizing that is because when I'm in stress, I just don't even think about the big goal or the big picture, because that's too much to think about. I just do what I need to survive. So Real talk here, this balance is purely survival mode. Am I proud of myself? Absolutely not. Am I going to be hard on myself? Probably for a little bit. But I'm really working on remembering that what's done is done. I can't change it. I can't take it back, but I'm going to learn from this. So I'm not proud of this. I'm really not thrilled with how I've done, but we're going to keep chipping away. We're going to keep working hard on this card. And thankfully now, even with my husband's job change, is he's not driving as much. So, and we're able to make a bigger dent than when he was driving all summer, especially with the cost of fuel right now. So we're going to keep chipping away at this. I don't have a plan for how we're going to tackle this, but it is what it is at this moment in time. So now that we've got our heart to heart over with, let's look at the other three. The other three that are probably going to be the ones we're going to try and focus real hard on too. So we're going to start, since we're moving top to bottom, or bottom to top. Our camper is currently sitting at $4,336.09. I did have someone recommend that we should just sell it and look for another one when the time came. But to be honest with you, I won't sell it because, number one, we love our little camper. We got it for a really good deal. Granted, could we sell it? Yeah, we probably could. But to be honest with you, by having a camper, this gives us the freedom to do cheaper vacations or cheaper fun things as a family than anything else would in the long grand scheme of things. If we're going to go on a vacation, we can take the camper and we can go not so far away, versus trying to plan a vacation and look at a place to stay. And, not that we would fly, because I don't think I could ever fly with small children. That's just me. My kids are not cut out to fly. We're working on the driving. One does great, the other one not so much. We're working on it. But we're not going to get rid of this unless, until we pay it off. Like, I want to pay this off. I want it to be something that we pay off. So that is our camper. One thing I am doing that I just put into our October budget is I am upping the minimum payment. So I was minimum paying this at, and it wasn't the minimum payment, it was just slightly above, but I was doing $175, but we are now upping that to $200. So I'm taking an extra $25 and adding that on here. One thing I'm going to look at doing the start of the year, because we're just going to finish out the year the way we've been going. If we have extra, fantastic. If we don't, that's okay. My husband also has applied for a permanent position at a different location, and that could very well change our income again. So I'm trying not to give us hard and fast deadlines or hard and fast moments. It's more of just little bits we can do to get us to our goals. So we did up this one to $200. The truck is currently sitting at a balance of $10,834.42. Currently we pay $370 on this. I'm going to keep that up, but I think the start of the year, I'm going to try and up it to $400 a month, because that would be well over the minimum and would hopefully start to dwindle away at that minimum payment or that principal balance. So we're gonna start, hopefully, God willing and budget allows, we're gonna start to up that a little bit. And then we go to my car. Now my car is the newest of our vehicles as far as it is the newest. And we bought it, we've only had it 1 year. Yeah, we've only had it for, a year and a half at this point. So we've made a decent dent from when we purchased it. I will say that much. But this one is going to be like our last thing to pay off, because it's not going to be anytime soon. It'll be the last one basically. But right now we pay $330, and as of January 1st, I want to get that up to $350. So what that looks like as far as our budget goes is I would have to up our monthly. So we are a month ahead. And I'm also considering doing monthly budgets starting the first of the year, just to give you guys a better idea, more transparency of what our budget looks like on the monthly scale, because I'm finally starting to figure out a groove and how I like doing that. But I would have to up our monthly or our weekly set aside for our month ahead to by another $25. So I want to see if we can actually make that happen the start of the year. So from now until January 1st, I'm going to start playing with numbers to see what that's going to look like in the grand scheme of things. But there it is. So let's total this up and see what we've got going on. And then let's get out my red pen. So I'll speed you through really quick while I add this up. Well, guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not think we would see this kind of change. So we're at $53,415.06. And that is still, even with adding in more debt, imagine if we hadn't, that is a difference of $1,518.25 that we have gone down on our debt. I'm shocked. I did not add these up ahead of time because I wasn't. I'm really shocked by that. I really am. I'm really proud. Even though we've added more debt, we still have paid off a lot, and that's wild to me. This number still sucks, but we've made goals of being debt free by December of 2024, and then by June of 2025, and using the avalanche method, this, that, and the other. Right now, between now and the end of the year, I'm not going to put any hard and fast limitations on us. I've told you what we're going to do as far as working to pay off these debts. We're going to get Les Schwab paid off by the end of the year, if not sooner. Who knows? Maybe life will work out. We'll be able to get that sooner. We've got our 0%. We're going to slow and steady pay wins the race on that one. And then we're going to slowly start to work on these. And as far as our city card, that one, I don't have a plan for right now. I just don't. I'm still kind of winding down and finding out what our new normal looks like. And to be honest with you, that very easily could change at the drop of a hat. So it's one of those, like I said in the beginning, I'm putting this out here, and I'm going to zoom you guys out. I'm putting this out there so that y'all know that you're not alone. Setbacks happen, life happens, and stress can really, especially if you're a spender, cause some turmoil in your budget. But the important thing is being accountable, recognizing where that flaw is, I guess you could say. For me, I see it right away. And after we finally settled down from everything, we're finally adjusting, I went, oh my gosh, I know what my problem is, and I know how I can fix that. So that is my goal, is to focus from here to the end of the month or end of the year, just continuing on our consistency, number one, first and foremost. And number two, to just really work on how I handle stressful situations and not turning towards reckless spending. I've got a plan to continue to make sure that this gets paid off within the 0% time frame, because we obviously don't want to add more interest there. These are all very low interest rates. I honestly don't even know what the interest rate on this one is. Or if there is, we might be at 0 on this one as well. And this one is our highest, and it will be our highest. And it is what it is. We'll work hard. We'll continue to pay that and just see how things go. But I hope that you gain some value from this. Like I said, I'm not looking for advice. I'm not looking for your 2 cents. I am merely posting this to, number one, again, hold myself accountable. Number two, discuss that debt pay down is, excuse my French, but fucking hard. And number three, that there can be setbacks, but I mean, we've had a setback and we still have made a difference from in 1 quarter, so 3 months. So is it a lot? No. Is it less than last time? Yeah. But we're still working towards our goal. And also that you don't always have to have a for sure plan in place as long as you are still working on being consistent, because I think that consistency piece is going to win out overall. So it might not be how you would do it. You might not like how we do it, and that's okay. Really, I just am showing that this is what I'm this is me. I'm here. I've had a spending problem. It's not cured in 8 months, 9 months. 8 months. We've been budgeting this for 9 months, but I've only been filming and everything for 8 months, and really not spending for 8 months. And so, it's hard, but it's recognizing that and moving forward with it. So, I appreciate you all being here. Remember to enter my 1,000 subscriber giveaway. I will have rules and all the information linked down in the description. You have until October 10th. Again, I can't thank you all enough for being here. I appreciate you being along for this adventure, because that's what it is. It is an adventure. I like to call it an off-roading ATV ride, because we've got twists, turns, bumps, and hills. And we've got highs and lows, and that's okay. But make sure to hit that subscribe button, hang out with us, see how fast or how slow or what our next steps are as we go on through the next few months and the end of the year and the years to come. I appreciate you being here. And until next time, remember to spread kindness like glitter. Bye, guys.